And in Texas, catastrophic flash flooding has killed at least 2 people. States of emergency have been declared across 59 counties as rising waters force at least 230 high water rescues.
Yeah, just yesterday, one section of the Guadalupe River rose 25 feet in a single hour. Yeah, this comes just over 1 year, of course, since the tragic flash floods right near Camp Mystic that took 28 lives there. Meteorologist Adam Klotz is here with our Fox weather forecast. Hey, Adam.
Hey, good morning, guys. For the first time all week, we're finally talking about a forecast that's improving across the Texas Hill Country. Still, they're going to be dealing with all of that water, but as far as additional rain goes, finally beginning to back down a little bit. The rain over the last week, though, boy, these numbers are impressive. Anywhere from 2 feet in some of these communities, getting up to close to 2.5 feet of rain. Obviously, it's tough to find places for all that water to go. It funnels its way down into the Guadalupe River, and that's the river basin. That's why you saw that 25-foot raise in just an hour of water. All of that water rushing down towards the river. Now, we are beginning to see some of those river heights begin to decline a little bit. Yesterday, we saw a whole lot of these up in the major flood stage. That would be the purple colors on the board. Today, it's more of a minor to moderate flood stage as all of that water continues to work its way down some of these rivers and streams and creeks, improving some of the situations along those rivers' banks. Still some rain out there this morning, but it does look like less rain than we saw. Some flash flood warnings out there. Yesterday, some of these were flash flood emergencies, which indicate more rain. There's still a little bit of moisture out there. It's something we're going to be tracking for today, but we were up to 3 or 4 as far as that risk of flood goes. Today it's a 2. So we are looking at less rain today and less rain tomorrow. So finally maybe a chance for some of those folks to dry off. Now, as far as that smoke goes, wildfire smoke, that's going to continue to be an issue. You see the worst areas still in the upper Midwest. Think major cities like Chicago and Detroit. But now today it's funneling more over towards the East Coast, a little farther south than New York. So think D.C. down towards Baltimore. But all of these areas continue to see streams of just really thick smoke. The worst of this continues to be in the upper Midwest. So you're looking at Minnesota there, looking at Illinois. Still wildfire smoke, though, across this entire region. New York now falls out of the wildfire smoke air quality alert for today, but you're still going to notice it when you're outside. We're looking at a rainstorm that's going to be moving through on Saturday that will knock a lot of this out of the air. And I know a lot of folks are going to be
that's what I was reading about, that there's going to be a rainstorm and a cold front coming in that will knock it out.
That changes the wind direction, and that's really, it's like you're sitting around a campfire anywhere, right?
Yeah.
And just a little shift in the wind can change everything.
But these wildfires are still raging in Canada?
Yeah, that's not going to stop.
Oh, my goodness.
And compared to, what was it, 2 years ago, it was worse than it is right now, correct?
It was significantly worse then.
Okay.
Yeah. But
I remember when that happened, when it was...
You couldn't see.
Like the skies were red. It looked like we were on another planet.
Yeah, there was like an orange haze over the entire city.
Yeah, I wouldn't call this minor in comparison to that, but we've lived through that one, so we'll survive this one.
Yeah, if you have cardiovascular problems, definitely be careful.
Bingo, stay inside.
Adam, thank you. And good to hear that things are getting a little bit less intense in Texas, but the situation does still persist. And right now, joining us are 2 members of the United Cajun Navy helping with the flood response in Texas, Incident Commander Josh Gill and Chief Meteorologist Amy Metz. Josh, we'll start with you. Explain the conditions that you've seen on the ground during the rescues.
So good morning. I had close communications with my team that was there in Center Point doing a lot of the evacuations, and a lot of waters, very tough conditions for these guys to go do what they do. But I wanted to say thank you really quickly to Amy for keeping my team up to date and up to speed on the conditions as they deteriorated.
Yeah, and speaking of those conditions, Amy, this is the same area where we saw 135 people at least killed in devastating flooding last year in Kirk County. Of course, Camp Mystic was a story that so many of us followed, just so tragic, 25 kids killed. How similar is this to last year's devastating floods, and what's different about it, if anything is?
There's definitely some differences here and similarities. I would like to highlight first the amazing response. There were so many people on standby. The teams from the state even, and the counties, the volunteer fire departments, they were much more prepared this round. And so evacuations were done sooner. But we are seeing a lot of the vehicles that were swept up just as high as last year, right along the main highway. A difference there is that Hunt was not the epicenter of the worst flooding. In Instead, it was a little bit further into Ingram, closer to Kerrville, and those two cities, including Center Point, that ended up with the higher floodwaters. Now we're looking at some concrete that picked up, lifted off. That happened in a lot of places last year and this year. Low water crossings covered. Even yesterday, I was seeing people across the water still wanting to get over. And so there's some transport for that that's getting worked out. But as far as debris goes, it's the same kind of debris. I did not see it as high in the trees this time. So it seems like it was just a little bit lower as far as some of that surge upward. However, what goes down the dam and into Kerrville, like what we're seeing now, is very similar to last year.
Unfortunately, 2 people have been killed, and you just were talking about those who continue to drive through these floods. One person was driving when they were swept away. 10 people rescued by helicopter from the roof of a barn. Josh, back to you. If people find themselves in a sort of difficult situation, what are things they can do to perhaps buy themselves some time and hopefully get you and other rescuers there?
Well, number one, we hope that people listen to their local officials, and when they say evacuate, to go ahead and evacuate. Listening to your local officials and being prepared for any kind of event that happens is key. Again, get to an elevated place. If you have PFDs or life preservers, make sure you bring those with you if you're getting onto the roof, and watch closed and confined spaces. Getting into an attic is something a lot of people want to do and try and do, but getting out of that attic sometimes can prove to be a little bit difficult.
And it's a fast developing situation. The Guadalupe River rose 32 feet in just 4 hours. Amy, put that in perspective for our viewers.
Well, that's going to mean that homes that are along those riverways, campgrounds, they became completely covered in water. And also businesses. There's some restaurants that ended up with water all the way up to the ceilings and roofs. Unfortunate fact that we did have a home wash away. And so everybody around town, very upset that, there's been a fatality there. But we're looking at 2 fatalities compared to more than 100. So it's, again, all about that response and preparedness and people taking it seriously that makes a difference there. However, that much water so fast, something that can kind of tell that story is that it was so powerful. One of the barges that's still here on the riverway in order to help clean up was picked up and tossed down the dam. Ended up running into a bridge and breaking it completely. So expect that many roadways are going to be closed in this area for quite a while.
Well, as Adam was just saying, thankfully conditions are starting to get a little bit less intense. We're certainly praying for all the people in Texas who seemingly just can't catch a break. Josh Gill and Amy Metz, thank you very much for joining the program.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.